Welcome to the Anything Goes project. We're going to be doing something a little different. You're going to get to see me make that key fob that I showed you in a YouTube short. So hold tight, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, ring the bell to be notified of other videos that we may be doing in the future. So with that, let's get it started.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
For today's project, we're going to be showing you how to do this little key fob that I discussed in one of my little YouTube short videos. So basically it folds up like a pocket knife. You can store it, stow it. It's pretty lightweight and fits in your hand just right. Boom, there you go. You can drop this in your bag. So before we get started, this is normally what your keys would look like. All the jingling and jangling around. You're going to be hanging this from your hip. It's heavy. Get this out of the way. But with this, now it's lightweight. Your keys don't pop out and they don't jingle around. And what I normally do is I just drop this in one of the little side pockets on my backpack. This is basically some of my house keys and my mailbox key. So for today's video, we're going to be using OD green and black, and we're going to be making a key fob similar to that for the keys to all my toolboxes. So I've got my Husky, Craftsman, and my Rimline toolboxes. So we're going to be doing a key fob for those to get them off of that big key ring, and eventually I'll do more key fobs for the rest of those keys. So what we're going to do first is you're going to need to make your center core piece. And how I like to do it for this project is take a single strand, loop it around, and you want it to be, I've already got one completed here, you want it to be about the width of your keys. So if you see that, that gives you plenty of room for if the cord shrinks a little bit, you've got plenty of room for your keys to still fold up in it. But I'm going to show you how I like to do my single strand. I like to take my single strand, burn one end, kind of just twist it a little bit, make it to a little bit of a point. And then on this end, I'll pull the sheathing back a little bit. You can see the core on the inside. And I'll just clip that core, lift it up a little bit. And now I've got a little hollow spot right here. I'll take and put my tip in. And then I will take my lighter and just kind of do this. Give it a little bit of heat. Now that joins your ends and you're ready to do it. So for this project today, we're going to need one, your keys, a lighter, something to cut your paracord, a pair of scissors, and you're going to need a screwdriver of some kind, not necessarily this, but just some sort of flathead and or a dime even, because you're going to be using it to tighten the Chicago screw. If you'll notice, this end of the Chicago screw has a flathead going across here. So that's what we're going to be using it to tighten. This is integral part of the key fob. And then of course we've got our little flat washers. Now the Chicago screws, you can see, are Hillman brand, and I picked these up at Lowe's for about 90 cents a piece. So this piece right here, we're going to be using this little bit of paracord and then around 7 foot of the OD green for doing your cobra knot around it. And so we're looking at maybe at the most $2 to make this little key fob. That's washers, Chicago screw, and the amount of paracord versus anywhere from $50 to $60 for the KeySmart system, which they're nice systems, don't get me wrong, but for this project here, you're wanting to keep it budget friendly. So the first thing we're going to do, like I said, you're going to join up your end like that, so you got a good loop, and you're going to take and kind of just pinch it down so you got a good piece like that. And take your long paracord, you're going to stretch it out, and you're going to find the center point of it, which is right there. And this is how we get started. First thing you're going to do is take your black piece, which for this is my core, and now we're going to tie a basic cobra knot. We're going to start with this strand. You're going to lay it over the top of the black. You're going to carry this strand over that, under it, and then back around through the back side. And then pull all of your slack out. Take and get it up here a little bit and tie it off right here. Don't do it too tight right now. You want to adjust it. Tie it off just a little bit. Okay? Now you're going to, before we even tighten it, you're going to take your Chicago screw and you're going to unscrew the end. This is basically how they work. You're going to take your barrel side and work it through that hole. Now we're going to pull this up tight to it and tighten this top knot up against it so this does not fall out. Now here comes the interesting part when you're tying a cobra knot. If you look at the knot itself, you see that? This was our leading strand when we fold it over. You're going to continue with this leading strand, but going back the opposite direction, like this. So now you've got across, now you're going to come across this, under it, back under, pull all your stuff through, and then you're just going to work the knot up and tighten it. It's at this point is when you start to see the knot forming. Now again, our leading strand is now on this side. You can tell by that hump there. So again, we're going to come across, over, under, across, and back up through it. Then we pull it tight. And for this knot, for this little project, you want these really tight. So again, leading strand, over, across, under, and then up through the hole. Pull your slack. You're going to continue this all the way down until you get another hole about that size for the other end. So let's continue doing this. Cross, there we go. Pull it tight, leading strand, cross, over, under, back across, and there we go. So let's fast forward a little bit and watch this happen. Okay, we're getting towards the end now. You can see we're getting up here close towards the end. So we'll keep going. We're going to be able to get 2 or 3 more knots up in here. And this takes a little practice to be able to just do this, but you'll know if you got your knot going with the wrong leading strand, because what it'll start to do is this will actually start to twist like a DNA helix. So one more, it looks like. Yep, one more. Oh, look at that. Okay, so now we've got our hole, this end and this end, and you'll see it actually, we'll probably use our little fid over here to get it in, or a knotter's tool to kind of open this hole up a little bit. If you don't have these things, use a pen or a pencil. But, there you go. So that's what we want. So at this point, we're going to cut off that. We're going to take our lighter. Make sure that knot's tight right there. Take, I don't like these scissors. I normally use a razor blade. There you go. Now it shouldn't go anywhere and your knots will stay stable. So let's get this string out of the way. And the next part is, I like to take one washer and put it on this side here up against that string, so it gives a little bit of extra protection for a key. So we're going to take a key, a washer, another key, another washer, put my big black key in the middle, another washer, another key, another washer. As you can see, we're already getting filled up there. The last key, which puts us right about at the edge, as you can see. So now we're going to take and kind of bend this, flex that, and get it over here to this. Now we're going to take our Chicago screw end and start working that in. Now here is where your screwdriver comes in. Just put a little pressure on this backside here and just start working the Chicago screw in the rest of the way. Now if you can't hold the backside with your finger like I'm doing, I would suggest probably getting a little pair of pliers like these SOGs and just grabbing it right here so you can hold it, and then gently do like this until you get it tight and butted up against the other piece. And it's getting tight right there. There we go. So now we can take and kind of shape that a little better. And there's room in here to put longer keys if need be. But these are my toolbox keys, so this is pretty much all I need. And now you'll notice they're very similar to a pocket knife. I think I can get this a little bit tighter. May not be all the way in yet. Oops. Grip that right there. Oh yeah, I wasn't quite tight and I was pushing up against the keys. There it is. Now it's locked. I felt it bottom out. So now we've got our keys. We'll go in there. Now you'll see the washers inside of here. Separate the keys out so that way you can pick which one you want to flip up. Also, you can get other implements to put in here besides keys, like little pry bars, little pairs of scissors that come with these holes already in them. And a lot of times they're made for like the key bar setups, but they will fit something like this. So this is pretty cool to begin with, because not only do you now have a nice little paracord key fob to keep in your backpack, it's not going to rattle around. You're not going to have to worry about it causing issues with scratching your phones or anything that you put in your pockets. That's why I don't like the keys. They scratch everything up that they butt up against. And it's lightweight, and you have about 7 foot of emergency paracord if you need it and you're in a bind. So with that, these are the cheap, inexpensive paracord key fobs. Like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below if you got anything good from this video. And hopefully this is a project that you can do and make and just have fun doing it. So with that, guys, We're out of here.